Coming up on Mountain News this morning, hundreds of people offer a final farewell to a fallen Scott County deputy, Caleb Conley. And a Kentucky veterinarian shares a warning for gun owners after his guns were stolen over at Churchill Downs.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. The time is 4:59. I'm Keaton Hall on this Friday morning, and it's a bit of a weekend today because I also have the weekend anchor with me, Cameron Aaron. How you doing, Cameron?
I want to make sure everyone is aware it is in fact Friday, so you still have to go to work this morning. It's not the weekend just yet. Even
Hate to break it to you.
You may be seeing some weekend talent here this morning, but yeah, it is a little bit foggy in some places as you walk out the door. That's the big story for most of us. As you can see, some of us waking up to some dense fog out there, especially in the Cumberland Valley. As you look at Williamsburg, we are down to 0 miles at this hour, down to 1 mile over in Somerset. So you may need some extra time on your Friday morning commute. That's not showing up on our downtown Somerset camera, but some people in Pulaski County looking at possibly some dense fog in some places this morning. The good news up on radar, we are dry, and that will continue into the afternoon as well, as most of us are dry under plenty of sunshine today. Those temperatures are mild as you wake up in the upper 50s and lower 60s, 64 in Pikeville, 65 in Jackson, 61 over in Somerset. Some people could make a run towards 90 later on today. All those details coming up in just a few minutes. Keaton.
Thank you, Cameron. A final salute and farewell to a fallen hero. Scott County Deputy Caleb Conley was laid to rest yesterday. Deputy Conley spent the last 4 years serving with the Scott County Sheriff's Department. Before that, he spent 8 years in the U.S. Army. During his funeral yesterday, filled with family, friends, and fellow officers, many shared memories and experiences with Deputy Conley. His mother says it was his childhood dream to one day become an officer.
Since the age of 3, he would desire to become a police officer like his father and his uncle. He wanted to be just like them. So we cut down a gun belt for him to wear, made a tan uniform with patches, and stuffed a uniform hat with newspaper. He would ride his tricycle up and down the road in front of our house and had an authentic sounding siren.
Deputy Conley was laid to rest at Battle Grove Cemetery in his hometown of Cynthiana in Harrison County. A long funeral procession brought Deputy Conley to his final resting place. That procession was filled with hundreds of police vehicles, drove from Scott County High School to Cynthiana. Along the way, the community came out to the route to say their goodbyes. Support for Deputy Conley and his loved ones has been overwhelming, and people came from across the country to honor him.
Where I live, it's kind of every man for themselves, but here it's a real family, and I see that.
A flyover, taps, and a final call were played as friends and family said their final goodbyes. More than 500 people followed the procession from Scott County to the cemetery to say goodbye to the fallen deputy. Police in Louisville are still looking for someone who fired shots inside of a mall. They say that person shot someone inside St. Matthew's Mall Wednesday. The victim was hit in the arm. Thankfully, they are expected to recover. Managers closed the mall for the rest of the day so police can investigate, but police have not released the name of the shooter. It was back open yesterday. A Kentucky veterinarian has a warning for gun owners. Kevin Harbin works for racehorse owners at Churchill Downs. He made a quick stop yesterday to get his truck restocked, and he left his windows open. And he says in less than 2 minutes, someone pulled up, reached into the console, and took 2 handguns. The crime was caught on camera.
I certainly would have taken more precautions if I'd have had any idea, of how bold they could be. So I am investing in a safe to go inside the car, inside the console, so that I can keep that locked.
Police have not made any arrests in this case. A Letcher County man is facing charges following a complaint in Floyd County. Prestonsburg police responded to the call Wednesday at Jenny Wiley Liquors in the Lancer community. When officers arrived, they found the car and the suspect, Orville Baker of Thornton. Upon further investigation, police discovered the car was stolen out of Pike County. Baker is charged with receiving stolen property, public intoxication, and several other charges. He was taken to the Floyd County Detention Center. Also in Floyd County, a man has been arrested after he was accused of stealing a trailer. The Floyd County Sheriff's Department says they brought 65-year-old Marty Hamilton of David into custody. The trailer belongs to the Floyd County Board of Education. The theft happened at Betsy Lane Elementary on Tuesday. Deputies say newly installed cameras at the school helped in the investigation. Hamilton was arrested and deputies say they found the stolen property. Drivers who use Kentucky 451 between the Hal Rogers Parkway and Kentucky 15 near Hazard will need to find an alternate route next Monday. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet says 451 will be closed near the top of Town Mountain to allow crews to replace a drain pipe. Crews say the work will start at around about 8 in the morning and should be complete by 4 that afternoon. In the event of some rain, the work will be postponed. Staff with Save the Children Action Network say research shows the lack of child care services is a major issue in eastern Kentucky. Yesterday, staff with Save the Children and Lexington State Senator Reggie Thomas visited child care centers in Perry County to see firsthand the needs that some leaders plan to address in the next legislative session. Sarah Hall, the Kentucky State Manager for Save the Children, says half of Kentuckians live in a so-called child care desert.
Our kids need this now, and so we really need everybody to join us and call their lawmakers, email them, get them down here for a visit, let them know the struggles that our parents are facing, and make sure that they can get back out in the workforce and know that their children are going to be safe.
Hall says a major cause for the lack of care services is due to providers not making enough money, saying the average salary of a child care employee is just $22,000 a year. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up next, as we approach National Cancer Survivors Day, we bring you the story of a group of women who are using exercise to help them battle the disease.
Plus, we are tracking the summer sizzle across the mountains into this afternoon. All those details coming up in just a few minutes.